All right. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to my challenge run, I guess if you want to call it, of Pokemon Red, where I'm going to beat the game using only bug type Pokemon. This is going to be a really, really fun thing to do, and I'm looking forward very much so to the challenges that this will bring as I try to navigate this. So basically, the idea behind the playthrough that we're looking at here is that I'm going to be trying to beat Pokemon Red using only bug types. Now, there's a little bit of a funky thing with that, in that if any of you know a ton about these games, depending on if you're playing either red, yellow, or blue version, you actually cannot catch all of the bug types in any version of the game. The red version doesn't have Pinsir, the blue version doesn't have Scyther, and the yellow version doesn't have the Weedle line, so you can't get Weedle, Kakuna, or Beedrill. So we're going to be doing a little bit of a funky little modded version of this, where I have replaced Bulbasaur as the starter with... Wait, I don't want to do that. Wait, do I go with blue? Sorry, I meant to do that. I've replaced Bulbasaur with Pinsir as my starter, so I can actually catch all the bug types since Pinsir will be the starting Pokemon. So then I can just catch the rest and have all 6 that I have access to in the game. So it's a fun little modification that'll make this possible. And for those that don't know, the reason why this is considered to be a challenge run of sorts is because of the fact that in the game, the bug types themselves in Gen 1 are notoriously pretty meh, in terms of their move pools, in terms of their stats, in terms of just what they can do as they match up against some of like the actual like good Pokemon in the game. So this is going to be really, really interesting trying to do because there's only so much that I can accomplish with the really crappy move pools that these Pokemon have. And it's going to be really interesting kind of seeing how I navigate through all of that. So the first thing that I want to mention, though, with this run in particular is that the reason why I chose the bug type as well is because of the fact that you can start off this game with a gigantic disadvantage, which basically makes this probably one of the more challenging ways of playing the game, because I am going to go ahead and pick Bulbasaur here, but as you can see right there, it is not actually a Bulbasaur, it's a Pinsir. So basically, I'm going to be playing the entire game with my rival having the Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard line, which is already a humongous disadvantage. And the first gym that I have to fight is Brock, which is a rock type, and I'm probably going to struggle just a little bit with that too. Now, Brock is kind of a pushover in some ways, but one of the things that I am going to do to kind of balance this out a little bit is I'm actually going to, after I do this fight, immediately box Pinsir. Because Pinsir has a base 125 physical attack stat, and that is ridiculous for the first fight of the game. So as you're going to see right here, I am just absolutely going to steamroll this Charmander with Vice Grip because this is the only move that I have here, and the fact that I can easily 3-hit KO it, maybe 4-hit now because he growled, just makes this like an absolute pushover of a fight, and I'm going to keep that in mind, obviously, as I do this, because this is not even remotely a challenge whatsoever, and the early game would not be much of a challenge either as a result of this. So what I'm going to do, like I said, is I'm going to box this Pinsir immediately after I catch Caterpie and Weedle, and then I will eventually take Pinsir out when you actually have access to Pinsir. So when I hit Fuchsia City, essentially, because the Safari Zone is where you would normally catch him if you were able to catch him in this version of the game. So it makes for kind of balancing the game out a little bit as a result of that, and it doesn't really allow me to take too much advantage of the fact that, this Pokemon is like absolutely broken at this point in the game because you should not have a Pinsir. Now, one other thing that I'm going to do, in addition to catching the Caterpie and the Weedle, is I'm also going to catch a Spearow. And Spearow is there specifically just to trade for a Farfetch'd. Farfetch'd, while not a great Pokemon in its own right, is a Pokemon that is great as an HM user, as it is one of the only things that has access to both Fly and Cut, which are essential for progress and just kind of moving around the overworld. And so that is going to be one of the main Pokemon that I'm going to be catching, aside from just the bug types. The other Pokemon that I'm going to also get, I believe, is going to be Slowpoke, because Slowpoke is going to learn both Strength and Surf, and those are also both necessary. Now, as far as that's concerned, I will not be using those Pokemon in battle, because that obviously defeats the point of the challenge run, but they will be as a part of my party, and that is just kind of essential for progress of the game. And the reason why I'm doing that, I know that I could teach, if you look at the left side of my screen right now, that I'm going to be getting a Parasect. I know I can teach Parasect Cut. I know I can teach a couple of these Pokemon Strength as well. But I am just going to stick to using moves that would be, or movesets that would like maximize the Pokemon that I'm actually using's potential, instead of having them locked into HMs that I don't really want. But yeah, to talk about the team a little bit, as you can see from here, we're going to be using all 6 bug types in Gen 1, which are Beedrill, Butterfree, Parasect, Venomoth, Scyther, and Pinsir. And they're all going to kind of come at different times in the game, but the general early part of the game is going to basically be just Beedrill and Butterfree, and then after I do Mount Moon, I'll have Parasect for a decent while, pretty much until I defeat Erica in Celadon City and do the whole Pokemon Tower quest, because then I'll have access to the rest of the game that allows me to get Venonat, and which I'll evolve into Venomoth, and Scyther and Pinsir. So it's going to be kind of like half the game is just the first 3 bug types, and then the other half I'll have the rest for. So that'll be a pretty, way of kind of balancing it out with making sure that I have kind of some updates to my team as I go throughout. But again, early game is probably just, Beedrill, Butterfree, and Parasect. Now, I originally did a challenge run with this game a while back, where I actually went and tried to beat the game with what I considered to be the worst Pokemon in Gen 1, which is actually funny because 3 of those Pokemon are actually on this team, which are Beedrill and Butterfree and Parasect. The other 3 on that particular run were, I believe, Farfetch'd and... who was it? It was Farfetch'd, it was Golbat, and it wasn't Hitmonchan or Onix, but both are pretty terrible. I honestly can't remember what that last Pokemon was. I might think of it in a second. But my first stop here, now that I've gotten the Pokedex and done all that beginning kind of quest stuff, is to go ahead and get some Pokeballs so I can catch the Pokemon that I am looking for. So I'm going to want to buy a few. I'll get like 10. Why not, in case things go awry. And then there's nothing else really here that I need. So that's that. I'm trying to figure out what the... Oh, Lickitung. That was the last Pokemon I got, because Lickitung is terrible in Gen 1. So anyways, I'm going to head over here, which I believe is Route 22. I am not going to do the trainer fight here against my rival, because my goal is just to catch a Spearow. So let's go ahead and do that. Didn't get it on the first try, but that's okay. I think the chance to catch one or find one is pretty common. But the fun part about doing this and trying to plan this route out is just kind of all like the movesets you get to decide, and like, okay, where are all my TMs going to go, who's going to get what, and all that kind of stuff. And I find this to be a really fun way of kind of just analyzing the game and trying to kind of maximize the most out of each Pokemon. The other thing also to keep in mind is that since TMs are not reusable, some Pokemon are going to end up with some pretty whack movesets, namely Scyther, because Scyther, unfortunately, does not really get a move pool like in general in Gen 1. There are no stab bug moves aside from Twin Needle, which Beedrill gets, thankfully. At least I think that's the only stab bug move. And Scyther doesn't learn that. And in Red, it also doesn't learn any flying moves. Red and Blue, actually, it doesn't learn any flying moves either. It only actually learns Wing Attack in Yellow version, which is really funny, but Gen 1 Wing Attack is only 35 base power, as opposed to every other generation, I think, where it was bumped up to 60. So it's still really, really bad. So Scyther is going to end up with like a moveset of like Agility, Swords Dance, Slash, and like Takedown or something, which is really not good. For a few different reasons, but again, it won't let me hit ghost types. So when I eventually get to the Elite Four, it's going to be completely useless as far as using it against Agatha will be. So that'll be kind of funny. I am not having very good luck with finding Spiro here. That's unfortunate. I don't actually even need to catch it here. I could catch it later. Oh, hey, look. I got like the 1% female Nidoran, but I can't even find a Spiro. This is really funny. I think this is like, it's like a 4% or 1% encounter rate for that, which is hilarious. So I found that before I got a Spiro. It's ridiculous. Any luck? Nope. All right. If this is getting a little bit tedious, I think I might just go for it later. But because there is a Spiro you can catch outside of Vermilion City, which is essentially when I would need Spiro anyway. But I figured if I had a lower leveled one at the beginning of the game that I immediately box, I figured it would be even more useless, so that it would completely guarantee that I wasn't actually using it to progress through the run. But I guess we'll see. I'll go like 2 more encounters. So we get 1. There's Nidoran again. I didn't actually think this would be this hard to find, honestly. I know I said 2 more encounters, but now I'm like really determined to get it. Okay. You know what? Just because I want this to be as authentic as possible, I will keep going. Now, if you want to there we go. Okay, 3rd. I'm glad I stayed for 1 more. Now, the problem is I hope I don't one-shot it, so I'm just going to go for the Pokeball and hope for the best here. But if you want to follow along with this, cool, got it 1 shot. I am actually doing this run off of a Google Doc that I made that basically goes through like step-by-step how to do this whole run. So I might, at the end of this, when I finish this whole playthrough, for those of you that are watching this on YouTube at least, because I'm going to upload this to YouTube as well. For those that are watching on YouTube, I might post a link to the Google Doc or something, or make like a PDF file of it or something in case anybody, wait, why am I going to the Mart? I want to go to the center. Wants to also try this run. If you also come up with any better movesets for any of the Pokemon, please let me know. Because I think what I came up with is probably the best, but I also know that like Hyper Beam is a really good move, and if anybody wanted to grind out the game corner to get Hyper Beam, or missing no glitch a bunch of nuggets to get it, that is an option too, because you can pay for some coins or whatever. But either way, that is an option too if you want to have like the best version of each of these Pokemon, because you would probably throw Hyper Beam on almost all of them except for maybe Butterfree and Venomoth, but I'm not entirely sure. Oh, hey, we got a Weedle. All right, so we got our first bug type that we're actually going to be using. So let's just throw a ball and hope for the best here. I guess I could have tried to get a high-leveled one, but it's not a big deal. Now, the question that I had earlier today when I was trying to figure out how I was going to do this is, did I want to also use Pinsir to help level these guys? I don't have any good nicknames right now, so we're gonna pass this up. Or is that also cheating, because I technically shouldn't have Pinsir right now either? So I'm gonna probably, do this beginning part of the run, and it's gonna take a while. I'm gonna be honest, guys. But since I'm just using, oh wait, this is probably one of those grass patches that actually doesn't have encounters. I have to figure out which ones are which. Is this one that would also? Because I know this place is like kind of funky with that. As far as grass is concerned. Can I catch or find a Pokemon over here? I'm basically just trying to find a Caterpie real quick before I actually advance through the game at all. Am I really getting this lucky or unlucky in this particular case? There we go. Okay, let's hope it's not a Weedle. It's a Weedle. If this is a higher level, I'm totally catching it. Okay, never mind. All right, I'm gonna run away. But yeah, I think using the Pinsir to just make the leveling process a little bit easier is okay. Just because it's one of those things where like all it is doing is it's speeding up the. I'm totally catching this one instead. Actually, I don't need to. All right, I'll stick with the first one. I'll stick with it. But like I'm going to level it anyway. So does it really matter if I make the process go faster? That's my whole little opinion of that situation. Um, and you may disagree with me on that, and you could say, well, leveling is part of the challenge. But I personally don't believe leveling is part of the challenge. I think leveling is just like a war of attrition here. Oh, wait. We're going to fight this. Hang on. I should actually have Weedle out now anyway. I should switch it in front. Oops. Didn't mean to click stats. But hey, those are our stats. Yeah. But, you know, it's to each their own with their opinion here. But I'm just going to, you know, fight this right now. I think Poison Sting's super effective, right? Yeah. Right, I forgot about that. So yeah, if you didn't know in Gen 1, and this is also a chance for me to show off the funky little Gen 1 mechanics. If you didn't know in Gen 1, Poison is super effective against Bug. And I think Bug is also super effective against Poison, which is like an oversight in the coding or something like that. But that's going to make leveling Weedle a lot easier than leveling Caterpie. But yeah, I should put Weedle out front just in case I run into a Metapod in the process or something as I'm trying to find a Caterpie. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. And then as soon as I get the Caterpie, then I'll box the Pinsir just to be like real, you know, authentic here. It seems like this is the patch of grass that I can find things in. So let's go ahead and just move up and down there, and hopefully I'll run into one soon. All right. But yeah. I think they're all super effective against each other. So like me going for Poison Sting right now is like extra super effective or something like that. Like this will hurt a lot, right? Oh wait, never mind. It won't. No. Yeah, it says it's super effective, but I think it's actually just neutral. Oh, this is hilarious. There we go. Alright, maybe I shouldn't have Weedle out front just because of that right now. Okay, let's just do this. That was funny. Alright, we're just going to catch a Caterpie before we advance any further. Alright, again, it's trying to keep this as authentic as possible, to the point where I am just, you know, going to progress using these bug types. So any like trainer battles, any progression in the game will only be done using, you know, the Pokemon that I need. So I'm pretty sure nobody wants to watch me Poison Sting this thing like 40 times. So I'm just gonna switch it in and go for Vice Grip. Again, it's just speeding up the process. I don't think this counts as cheating, quote unquote, but you know, whatever you think. So yeah, let's just Vice Grip a bunch. Maybe we'll get a crit or two. Does this move actually have increased crit rate? I actually don't know. But that's still doing a lot of damage even after 3 hardens. And if anybody has any questions or anything like that, please let me know in the comments or the chat about this process, or like why you think I'm a masochist and want to actually do this. But yeah, the early game, I will be honest, everybody, the early game is a bit of a grind, and that's okay, as long as I achieve the end goal. There's really only a couple of leveling, you know, portions of this, which is really just here up until Rock. That's the biggest one. And then once we defeat the final gym leader, that's really the next kind of step in the process. So, because I want to get, you know, everything around level 50 for the Elite Four, which I kind of have already a strategy for, that I think should work pretty well. So we're going to see what happens with that. I'm actually going to Vice Grip first here before it has anything. That's a crit. Wow. There you go. And then I will go to Weedle. And that just got a lot more damage. This is just going to make this take a little bit quicker. But yeah, any little bits of experience I can get here is real good, while I look for a Caterpie. And I know that finding a Caterpie is rarer in red version than it is in blue version. But they still are here, which is good. So that's a nice little benefit of the whole process here. So yeah, that should take it out. Got another crit. All right. Pinsir grew to level 6. That's good too. Not that like gaining levels right now really matters. So one other fun fact about this is that because as far as this game is concerned, because there are no eggs and things like that, Pinsir does not exist below level 25 or whatever is the level you catch it at. And so as a result, Pinsir only has Vice Grip. That's his only move until like level 20 something. Because why would they code in other moves if you can't theoretically catch a Pinsir below that level? Which I think is really, really funny. It makes perfect sense. Like it makes complete sense. But I just think it's kind of a funny thing because we think about nowadays that we have like the eggs and everything is level 1 and you can level it up. And if you look at like the leveling, move levels that you get as you get higher and higher, it's a lot more progressive nowadays in like, Gen 8 where it's like, okay, like everything kind of learns things a little bit as they go through. It's not like, oh, this Pokemon can't exist here, so therefore nothing has to happen. And this actually resulted in a few other really funny things that I'm kind of planning. So in addition to doing this bug type run, I actually might do one for every type. And so I was looking like at grass, for example, and I realized that with the got a crit with the grass run, not everything is catchable in one version of the game as well, I believe, because I think Bellsprout and Oddish are not catchable in the same version of the game. So you would have to, pick one or the other, but the only way to do that is if you actually do it in yellow version, because they're both in yellow version, and you can also still get a starter. So it's like still get Venusaur as your starter. So it's really interesting trying to figure out like what Pokemon would make the most sense to start with. And I was like, oh, I could go with Tangela. That's kind of neat because you don't really get Tangela until later in the game. So it would be kind of neat if I started with that. And then I go over and look at Tangela's move pool, and I realize that it only knows the move Constrict until like level 18, because again, you can't catch a Tangela earlier than that, which is really, really funny because Constrict is arguably the worst attack like ever in the history of Pokemon, because it's like a 10 base power move, and all it does is possibly lower your speed. And there's plenty of other moves that do that more reliably and have better base power, which again is why I consider it personally to be the worst move in the game. So if you wanted to watch me try and beat Geodude and Onix with Constrict, you're crazy. So it's just one of those funny things that happen. There's a couple other Pokemon, depending on again the run that we do. So if you think like fighting types, you can't get both Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan in the same game, so you would pick one of them to be the starter. And Hitmonchan is arguably another one of like the worst Pokemon in the entire game. And so it's actually rather funny to start the game with Hitmonchan, because you would think like, oh, that's an advantage. Like, look at all the punching moves it gets, right? But since you can't get Hitmonchan until level 30, it doesn't know any moves until after level 30, except for Comet Punch, which is a really bad move. So it actually in some ways makes it harder to start the game with a Hitmonchan, which is a Pokemon that arguably has better stats than a few of the other ones. And I just think that's really, really funny. But fighting is definitely one of the ones that I want to do, because I think that's a particularly interesting one. It would be a 5 Pokemon team because there's only 5 fighting types in this game. Which I believe Primate, Machamp, Poliwrath, Hitmonlee, and Hitmonchan. I don't think there's any more. And then another one that's also kind of cool to do is Electric, because there are also exactly 6 Electric type Pokemon in the game. And what's even funnier about that one is the version to actually run it on is red, not yellow like you might think, because you start out with a Pikachu. But it's actually red is the better version to do it on, because you cannot catch Electabuzz in yellow version, even though it makes the most sense for starting out. And I think that's also kind of funny. But I mean, we're finding a few Kakunas, and that's nice, and Weedle's gaining a couple levels in the process, which is nice. But I'm just looking to try and find a Caterpie. Now, again, if you're watching this on YouTube, I probably will timestamp this when I actually finish this whole initial process in the game, because it is in fact going to take a while to catch all this stuff and find all this stuff. But once Weedle gets to a decent level, probably when it evolves into Kakuna, then I will definitely box the Pinsir, because I can actually try and progress a little further with just the Kakuna, and do a trainer battle or two, and maybe I'll have a Beedrill before I know it, which will then get me the Caterpie more easily if I need to. And then I could kind of have more free roam around Viridian Forest. But yeah, this whole little process of just going through this and setting the game up is really no big deal at all. So I figured why not go through some of the different movesets that I'm going to be running with these Pokemon. So I tried as hard as oops, I didn't mean to do that, but I did it anyway. All right. I tried as hard as I can, like I said, to get as good of a team as possible, or good of a moveset, for each of these Pokemon as possible. So for Beedrill, it's going to know Swords Dance and Agility, and then it's also going to get the Twin Needle move, which it'll learn relatively early on. I think it's actually like 25 is the level it learns it, and then I'm also going to give it the TM for Double Edge, and at that point it should be pretty darn good. Ideally, again, you'd want to use Hyper Beam, but that's pretty much where it's at. As far as Butterfree is concerned, and I guess I'll talk about Butterfree and Venomoth together, because they're actually going to have the exact same moveset, because that is just the moveset that you run in Gen 1 on both of them. I'm like inches away from catching this Metapod because I cannot find a Caterpie. But that is going to make my life really hard because I'm only going to know Harden. So I think I can't do this, unfortunately. But at least here I can actually use Weedle to KO it, so I can save Vice Grip because I'm running out of Vice Grips almost at this point. Yeah, so Butterfree and Venomoth are going to have the same exact moveset, which is going to be Stun Spore, Sleep Powder, Psychic, and Psybeam. And maybe I'd give one of them Mega Drain. I'm not entirely sure, because that is a pretty decent move too, but I think I'm going to save Mega Drain for my Parasect because it actually doesn't really get any other good stab bug moves. So Mega Drain is really your best option. And Parasect's move pool will probably be something, or moveset will probably be something along the lines of, what is it? It's going to have Mega Drain, Dig, Spore, and Slash, I believe is what I'm going to go with that. And then finally moving on to Scyther and Pinsir. As I mentioned, Scyther's moveset's kind of whack because it's just going to be Agility, Swords Dance, Slash, and Takedown. That's really the best you can do. And then for Pinsir, I'm still not 100% on it right now, but I'm going to give it Body Slam. I think it also learns Slash, and I'll probably give it Seismic Toss and Submission as well. And that way, at least it'll have, a decent way of kind of dealing a variety of damage to most things. But if you've noticed, out of all the Pokemon, or of all the moves that I just listed, pretty much most of them are normal type attacks or psychic type attacks. And that's also really, really funny. There's like the occasional like niche bug move that Beedrill gets with Twin Needle and Parasect gaining Dig and Mega Drain, but for the most part, it's just normal type moves and a couple occasional unstab psychic moves, which is what makes these Pokemon particularly difficult to use, and why this is, again, kind of a challenge run in a lot of ways. Alright, so I actually had no luck finding a Caterpie, but at least I got to level 6 with my Weedle, so that's pretty great. But I am just going to head back to the Poké Center because I'm basically out of Vice Grips, so I gotta go and take care of that right now real quick. And I'm going to, again, keep the Pinsir here just so that I can use it to make the leveling a little bit easier. I'm not quite to the point where I feel like I can stick with Weedle just yet. Because, again, I'm not using the Pinsir for progression. Oh, wait, I keep going to the wrong place. Though I probably should have picked up the potion that I ignored at the beginning of the game in my own box, but whatever. Let's just heal up real quick here. Maybe that I'm level 6 now with the Weedle, I can actually have it out front, so I can get full experience when I run into like a Kakuna or a Metapod. Actually, I'll go one more level just for the Kakuna because the boosted stats are kind of nice. Get on my way, old man. All right, so we're heading back up. I really want to catch a Caterpie here. I know I can because I have done it before. But can you even get one out here? I'm wondering if like the encounter rate for a Caterpie is higher out here than it is inside of the forest. But I feel like also it like is tile dependent. I have no idea, honestly. This is all speculation here. I'm sure somebody knows the answer to this, and they're probably just like, you are wasting your time trying to find something in the grass that actually is not there. As soon as I move, I find it. All right, here we go. Finally, guys. All right, so we got it, and hopefully the one ball will suffice. Okay. Let's try again. Caterpie, what are you doing here? Why not? Why do you want to not be caught? There we go. Okay. Worm. I'm not clever right now. Sorry about that. Okay, so we got them all. All right. So now comes the fun, if you want to call it that. Yep. So we're gonna go ahead and try to level some Pokemon. So let's do this. I gotta box the pincer now. Oh wait, no, I was gonna get one more level for Weedle. Let's do that. We're gonna get one more level for Weedle, and then I will box the pincer, just to be safe here, in case I need the extra little power that it gets. Weedle versus Weedle. I think this should go in my favor. Okay. At least I can't get poisoned. That's real nice. I love that it's super effective when it's neutral. Now, up until I get to Celadon City, Beedrill is going to be really, really inferior to Butterfree. Because Butterfree gets Confusion pretty early on, which is great because special move and it's Psychic type, so really nothing resists it in Gen 1 except for other Psychic types. And because I think Beedrill only gets like Fury attack. So once I can finally get Double Edge and stuff like that, it'll be a lot easier for Beedrill to succeed. And you'll see like how good it actually can be when using it in a particular run, like this. So we're gonna get to level 7 here, and then I will box the pincer because I think right now I'm pretty good without it. Yeah, it looks like I'll be able to get through here without much issue. And then I'll work on getting the Caterpie leveled as soon as I can. Alright. Probably 2 more Poison Stings here. Looks like it. There we go. Alright. Maybe 1 or 2 more KOs here. Let's just keep going. Yeah, we should be pretty close to level 6 at this point. I mean level 7, excuse me. Alright, another 29. Alright, maybe I could find a Metapod, that'd be really great. Or another Kakuna or something. Just to get it up the level. All right. For purposes of this, I'm just gonna do this with Weedle right now. I know this would be a really easy free experience for Caterpie, but I think just trying to get this extra level here is going to be really important just for moving forward. I'm also wondering, does my attack get worse when I become Kakuna, or does it stay exactly the same? I don't even know if I'll KO this in 15 poison stings. Oh, geez. But again, this is why this is a challenge run, right? Get a crit, please. That would be really, really nice if I did. Alright, so he's maxed out right now. There we go. That'll be great. Okay. There's one. Does it have 11 more HP is the question. I think I'll KO it. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to run out of poison stings. But I probably have to go back to the Poké Center right after this. I have to box Pinsir anyway, but... one other thing that I'll probably do with it is I'll probably put it right into the daycare, actually, after Cerulean City, just because, you know, it's going to be at, like, level 7 or whatever, and then it's going to be there when I pull it out of the box, too, and that is not something I want to have to level from the beginning. So, let's take that level, and here we go. Oh, I forgot to check my attack to see if it actually gets worse. I forget if Kakuna's attack is worse than Weedle's. We got it. All right. I feel a little bit safer now, and I'm going to get through all of this. So, let's go ahead and head back. And this is where I get rid of Pinsir. So, let's say goodbye to that. And the run officially starts now, kind of. I really do got to find a good way to level the Caterpie, though. Considering it only has tackle. Now, as far as the first like real challenge of the game, I guess, is the Brock battle. The thing about Brock is it's more of a war of attrition than it is like an actual challenge. And the reason for that is because Brock doesn't have any Pokemon that actually know any rock type moves, which is really funny. I think it's Geodude, or his Geodude only knows tackle, and I think the Onyx is relatively in the same boat, and it also knows like Bide or something like that. And so it's rather interesting seeing how atrocious his team is, but also the fact that like I can't really KO any of his Pokemon very easily. So let's see our first trainer battle. So it's gonna be interesting. Basically, if I really, really, really have to, I will level Butterfree until it learns Confusion. But I don't think that's necessarily gonna be necessary. Wow, he has a level 6 Weedle. Ugh. I guess I usually have her starter at this point, right? How much is that gonna do? All right, we're good. Yeah, the added defense from Kakuna is really, really helpful here, for sure. Oh, I forgot to turn off switch mode. That's another thing. So I didn't post this on the screen, but switch mode is a thing that lets you like say, oh, your opponent's about to bring out this Pokemon. Would you like to bring out a Pokemon to counter it? And I turned that off for these runs as well to make them a little bit more of a challenge run and be like real kind of competitive battles in each of these fights. So when it asks me right now, I am not going to do it because I'm an idiot and forgot. So yeah, I'm gonna fix that right after this battle. I completely forgot about that in the options menu. Alright. Let's see. Also, I may white out or black out, whatever they call it in this game, a decent amount at the beginning of this because it's like me versus, you know, the everlasting grind of only having poison sting. So it's gonna be interesting for sure. But I'm gonna see if I can progress a little bit more. I really should have grabbed the potion. I think there's an antidote up here though, right? Do I want this fight too? Another thing else I'm gonna do is, oh, I forgot to do the thing with the switch mode. Another rule that I was gonna impose on this fight as well is that I wanted to do it in such a way where I also do not use any items in battle. So again, I wanted to make this as like close to a quote unquote competitive battle environment as possible. Oh wow, this is a fun fight. Look how much damage that did. That's doing 1, isn't it? So yeah, I'm probably gonna lose right here. Whoops. And there you go. So maybe I should level the Caterpie a little bit before I go any further. Yeah. That was a Gen 1 miss right there. I just missed a Poison Sting. And for those that don't know what that is, the mechanics in Gen 1 actually make it so that every move has like a very, 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 very small % chance of missing. Nothing has 100% accuracy except for the move Swift, I believe. And so it's really, really funny when that actually happens. This is gonna like two-shot me, isn't it? Oh hey, I got a crit. I got 2 crits, wow. Imagine I take this out and he just string shots like 40 times. Alright, yeah, okay. I'm gonna lose money here. That's okay. Alright, let's try it again. I think I might need to level the Caterpie a little bit, guys. So please bear with me while I do that. Alright. And I think the best place to do that is still in here. Because it has the lowest level like bugs and everything. And maybe I can run into, you know, a Kakuna or a Metapod. So yeah, unfortunately this is going to be a little bit more of this. And like I said, if you want to skip ahead, there'll probably be the opportunity to do this or to do that soon enough. I'm just gonna, I think this is grass that I can catch and again encounter, and I'm pretty positive. Right, it looks like the tiles that aren't slightly different, and I'm just getting really lucky right now. There we go. Alright. Hey, we got a level 5 Weedle. That's good. Look at me, a little more experience. Alright, go out into Kakuna. Now I also do have the ability to hit the speed up button, but I hate what it does to the audio when I do that. So I am just going to ride this out normally. To my dismay. Maybe 3 more. A little bit of EXP there, no big deal. Alright. Level 3 wheel. Okay. This should go down significantly quicker, but we're only going to get like 9 experience here. Or something like that. But any little bit matters when really level 3, I guess. I can't believe I found, or both the Pokemon I caught were at the lowest possible level you can find them at. It's really funny to me. All right, that's like a solid like 6-hit KO, right? Three. 4. Maybe it's a 5-hit. Damage roll? Yeah. 11. Oh, hey, Kahuna grabbed a level. That's awesome. All right. So let me actually do the option thing. Sorry. It's actually called set mode. That's what it is. All right. I forgot the name of it. So instead of shift, it's to set. I keep calling it like switch mode or something like that. All right. Let's see who can win in this fight. Missing tackle is such a funny thing in Gen 1. Who's gonna win here? I really want him to go for string shot again. There we go. Okay, one more tackle. Caterpie will have taken out its first Pokemon all by itself. Look at that. How's that for impressive? There we go, level 4. We're getting there, folks. We are slowly but surely getting there. I feel like I don't appreciate this music enough. It's like creepy and kind of eerie. We're going to be hearing it for a while. Wow. What's with this lack of encounterness? There we go. It'd be really cool if I ran into a Pikachu. Alright. So we got a Weedle here. What did I say? This was like a 5-hit KO. This is really honestly probably the best way to do this too. Because of if I eventually get to level 10 this early, leveling Caterpie will go even quicker because these fights will not take as abnormally or absurdly long as they are. But out of curiosity, those of you that are here right now and watching, I know we're on YouTube, what type do you think actually would be the hardest to do for this? I actually, now that I've been looking at this a little bit more in depth, do not actually believe it's bug. But there's, advantages and disadvantages to each of these. I think the easiest probably is going to be water. And there's a lot of reasons why that's the case, but I think water types in this game, especially for like a in-game playthrough, are just generally very good. And so that definitely, I think, is probably the easiest one. But if I do this with every single type in the game, I am curious as to which one is actually going to turn out to be the most challenging. I think fire and electric and fighting are going to be pretty difficult. And I also think that rock actually is going to be very hard too. And that's also, again, because of the Gen 1 move pool thing. Rock types don't really get good moves in Gen 1. Some of them learn Earthquake because they're rock ground like Golem. But Rhyhorn, that line, doesn't learn any stab. They learn no rock or ground moves, I think, to my knowledge. Some only get rock throw if they even get a rock type move. And then you only really have access to rock slide once you hit Celadon City, and you can only, I believe, get it once, which really, really sucks. So it's going to be an incredibly limiting game. Plus, most of the rock types are rock ground, making them quad resist to water and grass, which obviously are two pretty early gyms that you're going to have to face down, which is going to be really, really hard. But I think there's a couple of ways of kind of helping the process along a little bit. Get ready to watch me tackle like 20 times. Oh, and it's level 5. That's great. So I'll probably get to level 5 too. Um, but yeah, rock might be the hardest one. And it's really interesting also finding out like which version is the best version to do a lot of these in. But rock is another one of the ones where I do have to change the starter because there's no way of getting Omastar and Kabutops in the same run. So I would make one of them the water starter in place of Squirtle so that my rival picks Venusaur, and then I again have that type disadvantage just like I would normally. It doesn't really make too much of a crazy difference when you do it like that. But that run is also very interesting because you wouldn't get the other one, the Kabuto or the Omanite, and the Aerodactyl until you get to Cinnabar Island because of the way that the fossil things work. So you're going to be playing most of the game with only 4 Pokemon. And you don't even get Rhyhorn, I think, until the Safari Zone in Fuchsia, right? So it's going to be quite the challenge. I don't know if that's the one I want to do next. I think I might want to do Electric next but first I got to focus on the task at hand here. But again, this is just, the game just being kind of poorly designed for this challenge run that I am trying to run right now. But I definitely should hit level 5 here. That is no question. And then maybe I'll be able to get to Metapod even faster. Ideally I'd want to keep running into these guys. And then maybe if I run into another Caterpie or something, I can take that out myself. Yeah, good. Hey, look, I have the same attack stat as Kakuna. So that's good. Everything's base 9. And there are some types that have like too many Pokemon, like the normal type. And I probably would just do like pure normal type Pokemon. I wouldn't do normal flying. Though flying type is actually a really cool one, in my opinion, because of the plethora of... Wow, that did 5. Okay, yeah, I can't stay in here. That's unfortunate. Because of the plethora of normal flying types in Gen 1, there are so many. You got Fearow, you got Pidgeot, you got Dodrio, and I think you also have Farfetch'd. And then there's obviously the legendary birds. I don't know if I would use them in a flying type run because I want to probably use like Articuno in an ice run and use Zapdos in a electric run. Moltres is kind of an interesting one because you don't really get it until Victory Road anyway, so is there really even a point in catching it for a flying or a fire run? Like you're barely going to be using it, I gotta run out and go to the Pokemon Center. But yeah, Moltres might be one that doesn't get used in any of these because I think the other fire types are probably more interesting in a fire run, and the other flying types are probably more interesting in a flying run because again, you have them for the entirety of the run, not just for the Elite Four. And I think that's kind of a bummer, to be honest, in terms of the way that kind of works out. So sad for Moltres. But though Moltres is very good, I think it doesn't really work in the grand scheme of things. It kind of, maybe it's like in Fire Emblem when you get like that super overpowered unit at the very last chapter just to make sure that you can beat the game if you did a absolute terrible job of building your team beforehand. So like, I'm thinking of like Athos in Fire Emblem 7, where you basically can just beat the final chapter with him alone because he's just that ridiculously good, with a Lunatome. But I was gonna say, I might have to fight this. Let's go Kakuna, because I don't know if it's gonna let me leave, but it's just gonna Gust. Thankfully, Gust is a normal type move in Gen 1. All right, let me see if I can leave now that I switched into Kakuna. Yeah, okay, good. All right, didn't want to deal with the accuracy thing. All right, let's keep going, everybody. All right, so I got to 4 and 8. So let's see how we keep going here. All right, run right into a Weedle. It's level 5 Weedle. All right, level 5 Caterpie. Definitely gonna lose that fight. So go back into Kakuna. Actually, you know what? It might be worth it to just level Kakuna first and then do Caterpie, but I don't know. I feel like leveling them evenly is a good way of going about it too, because at least they're both getting the experience at this point. Again, apologies for how boring the initial part of this run is. I've been at this for like an hour and I still haven't left Viridian Forest. Obviously, this will not be the case with every single run. It's really just this one. The early game is the hardest part with this particular run, and if I kept Pinsir, it would have been even easier. But again, I wanna keep this as authentic as I could. It's really just this one. I can't think of any other typing that would be impossible to beat the first like few stages of. How close am I to leveling with both of these, by the way? Let me just check. So Caterpie needs 31 experience. Kakuna needs 156. That's a lot. Wow. All right. Well, slowly and steady, we're gonna get there. I'll try to challenge that trainer again once I get a Metapod, I think. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. Okay. That's promising. Speed die. At least I know I will KO it, so that's good. Or not, and I'll just miss a tackle. I missed 2 tackles in a row. Wow. The luck. This is ridiculous. Okay, at least I didn't take any more damage. Unless I missed this tackle too. Okay, we're good. Alright. Oh, I'm 2 experience points away from leveling up. That's ridiculous. Alright, this is just my patch of grass right here. Me and this like little row of grass, we are best friends right now. Was that doing 5? That did 6. Man. I can't wait until this part is over, I have to say. This is what I've been like dreading, because I knew that when I did this run, this was going to be like a whole episode in and of itself of me just getting and defeating Brock, and I think that's probably where I'm going to get up to here. And then I'll tackle the rest next time. The next part will be significantly more productive, I am sure. Another reason why the Gen 1 games are also particularly fun to do with this is because they're so much shorter than the others. And so it's like you can do these pretty quick, you know. It's nothing too crazy. Hey, look, a Caterpie. So I can probably fight the Caterpie, right? I'm 3 levels above it. This is looking up. 2? Yes. String shot me. Okay. That'll help a little bit. Oh wow, immediate encounter. Excellent. I'm actually surprised I haven't run into a Pikachu yet, to be honest. I know it's like a really low catch rate, and I usually only see them in like that last patch of grass in the forest. But trying to find a Pikachu will definitely be an interesting part of the electric run if I ever do that. because again, as soon as you get the Pokemon of the type that you're aiming for, you run with it, and I have to defeat a rock and ground type gym leader. So that's going to be fun, but it'll be canon. So that's what's really important, is that it will be canon, since I will beat Brock with a Pikachu. I'm probably going to have to level it to like 16 or something ridiculous. So that at least I can brute force my way through it with Tackle or whatever its first move is. I think it gets Quick Attack. That might be its first normal move, or like non-move that Geodude and Onix would be immune to, I should say. So that'll be a fun start too. But at least it won't be as nearly as bad as this, because I'm only using one Pokemon, and at least Pikachu will have Thunder Shock and will be able to KO stuff. That won't be that bad, but the initial fight will definitely be something that'll drag on for a bit. I'm wondering if going out of here and leveling in the grass outside would actually be quicker. Now that I'm like a little bit higher of a level, and I can probably tackle some stuff more quickly, and I won't have to worry about Poison Sting. That might be the way to go, actually. So yeah, let me get out of here right now. I'll go Poke Center up again one more time, and then we'll see if I can get some more Pokemon to level. Wow, it really has been an hour already. Holy cow. It kind of flew by, though, I'm going to be honest. I've been having fun. I have not once not been enjoying this. It's just a little bit tedious, but it's great. So I hope the rest of you are too. And like I said, I think I'm just gonna go today until I beat Brock. So if that's another hour of me leveling, so be it. But yeah, I think the reason why I want to level in here is the chance of getting the Kakuna and Metapod is really great when that does happen. But yeah, let's head out and do this with this grass patch over here. I think that would be pretty nice. It'll also be a lot nicer for the Kakuna, because Kakuna won't have to worry about like just the amount of resisting with the Weedles and other Kakunas that I run into. I think just having the chance to actually poison them with Poison Sting will make that go a little bit faster too. So let's see. Maybe this is the patch of grass that will lead us to victory here. Again, how close am I? I know I shouldn't just check this constantly, but I'm just so curious. 65 till I get Metapod. Excellent. And 144. Okay. Not bad. All right. Oh, I miss this music so much. It's so nostalgic, honestly. And so is this one, too. Alright, here we go. Okay, let's see how I do versus this. Please do not miss this tackle. Okay. Oh, there you go. Oh, wait, what? It still lived. Please don't miss this tackle. Okay. Wow. Maybe that didn't go better. But I got 31 experience. Okay. Well, actually, why don't I put Cocoon out? And if I faint, maybe Caterpie can finish something off. If that happens, yeah, let's just work on Kakuna right now. I think that's the way to go here. Figures I get a Weedle right away. Either way, let's go ahead. I think we're gonna work on Kakuna. We're gonna get Kakuna to level 10. That's just what we're gonna do right now. I think that's the way to go. So probably have to kill or KO like 3 or 4 or 5 of these things, depending on what level they're at. Yeah. Okay. I can actually poison this, so this is good. We'll make this go maybe a little bit quicker if it comes into play. Speed tie. Hey, I got the poison. So yeah, definitely 2 more turns at least. Yeah, 2 more turns. Or maybe this will KO it actually here, I don't know. Is that 1 or 2 HP? There you go. Saved a little bit of time there. Level 2. I didn't even know they could be that low. This might be a Caterpie finishes it off moment, which is great. Fine with that. Red bar. Speedrun strats. Oh boy. Oh, he outsped. No. Alright, well at least I got to... Okay, with Caterpie here. Just kidding, he outspeeds me. Alright, that's the first time I blacked out. Actually, second time. Alright, whatever. No big deal. I told you that was going to happen a bunch here at the beginning. Maybe I should string shot just to ensure I'm faster. That's ridiculous. Oh, hey, first turn poison. That's really good. What is this speed tie nonsense that I'm dealing with here? 2 more. Or maybe just 1, depending on how much this does. No, that's 2 more here. Oh. Solid 32. All right. Alright, 1 more level till we get a Beedrill, folks. That's going to be really good. Alright, so how much experience is that exactly? 261. So that's like 10 battles, essentially. Maybe I can go back up to that guy that I fought earlier and beat him now. Well, actually, wait. I'm gonna get Caterpie leveled to evolve right now, real quick, and then I will do that. All right, let's do that. Okay, I think one more fight and then it'll evolve. Just don't be Weedle. Okay. Don't be level 4 Rattata. Okay, level 2 Rattata. Alright, 3-hit KO like last time. Yep. Alright, I didn't even take any damage. Oh, okay, it is one more, I think. One more. I miscounted. Alright, Pidgey. What level? 5. Okay. I might enlist the help of Kakuna for this one. Yep, that did a lot of damage. Team effort here. Sweet. I can live one more. Oh, I forgot I had that actually. I didn't use that yet. Okay. I think I'm good. No, well, at least it's gonna get KO'd no matter what here. Okay. I outsped that turn. That's funny. There we go. Alright, we got a Metapod, folks. What? Caterpie is evolving. Alright, Metapod. Give me 1 second. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, wow. I went too far. Alright, let's go see if we can beat that bug catcher guy now, which will obviously speed up the experience process too, because the trainer Pokemon give significantly more experience than the wild ones. But I'm going to lead with Kakuna again. Kakuna Matata. Alright, here we go. Come on, old man. How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? Now we're actually going to avoid the grass actively so that we can just be at full health when we fight this. Why did I still not grab a potion? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. But let's do this. Alright. So here we go. I know I don't actually even need to fight him, I think I can just avoid him if I go all the way to the left. But I think it's good experience, and I definitely need it for completing this. And the best, the best way to get it is by doing the trainer battles. So this should be fine. Alright. Okay, so that normally does 1. So as long as it's not like a 26 hit KO from this point for me, I should survive here. But any little bit of progress is exciting, in my opinion, So what if this is like a 7-hit KO? Progress. That's important. I do it? Alright, cool. We KO'd that guy, so we at least got farther than last time. Oh, man. Okay. Well, here's the matchup of the century. Oh my god, this sprite is ridiculous. I forgot about that. I need the experience for both of these guys. So, here we go. How many more tackles? Maybe like 10? Alright, here we go. 1. I think it's gonna be more than 10. It's 2. Yeah, it's gonna be more than 10. 3. Let's get a crit. It's 4. Does that count as 5? That's 5, I guess. Connecting tackles. Yeah, it's not gonna be 10. Or it's more than yeah. 6. How much PP? That's 7. Oh, there we go. That's a crit. Nice. 8. And the 2 crits. Nope, not gonna happen. Alright, probably 2 more. Oh my god. Now the question is, can I KO Visuito with the Metapod, or do I have to go back into Kakuna? Well, that's free damage right there. Let's go back into the Kakuna just because of the poison sting and all that nonsense. Yeah. All right. One more. And hey, we made some progress. That's really good. And I only took 9 damage in the process. I lost a ton of PP, but I took 9 damage in the process. That's really good. We're that much closer to getting a Beedrill, guys. So, let's keep going. There's my antidote. Yep. I think there's only 2 more fights that I do. Wait, is it up? No, it's down. I always forget. That's definitely the tiles that are encounterful or encounterless. I forget which ones. Ooh, that's really good to run into. That's going to give me a really good chunk of experience right now. Oh, that was a 3-hit KO. That's awesome. Okay, yeah. I'm pretty sure this guy over here has a level 9 Weedle. I think that's his thing. And there's also that, which I remember being there. Which is funny. But yeah, I'm surprised. I forgot that was the thing. But I remembered at the last second that you can do that. I think it's like a level 9 Weedle or something like that. Right? It's like a really, really highly leveled Weedle. Yeah. So let's see if I can beat this with just Kakuna. I'm actually going to string shot once. Just because if it comes down to Caterpie, or I'm sorry, Metapod at this point, having a KO this thing, at least I know that I'll outspeed when I come in. So, yeah, he's doing 3. So I can take 6 more hits from him. Or 5, I guess. Well, yeah, 6. Okay. There's 1. Got a crit. Nice. Another crit. Wow. Yeah, he's going to let me KO him. That's really funny. Good job, computer AI. Thank you for making my life easier. Alright, 1 more. Should do the trick. Alright, here we go. Yay, and we got to level 10, which is even better. Oh, that worked out perfectly. Okay, so we got a Beedrill. Yay. Okay. Really good. Okay. That's awesome. Okay, well, we finally made it to Pewter City. So I can reset that as my, if I get KO'd, home port, if you want to call it that. And now all we got to do is get Butterfree leveled up a little bit here. Or what, Metapod, I guess I should say. What is the status of this grass? Okay, so similar to the one before the forest. So again, is it worth it to be out here? Which is better? I don't know. Pidgey's kind of annoying to fight because it only knows Gust, so it's not going to like go for a non-attacking move to make my life easy, is it? It is not. Alright, well, we're just going to do this slow and steady. Okay, so what do we got here? Okay, 38 to 8. Not bad. That really is a super big pain. How much damage that does. The beginning game is not very kind to Metapod at all. Okay. 1 more and I'll get to 8, which will be great. That's a big yawn. Okay. I don't know why that crit didn't KO. Oh my gosh. The amount of Poké Centers I'm going to be going to for this is ridiculous. But hey, we got to level 8. Alright, let's go back up. Now, as soon as I get the Butterfree, I am going to try to fight Brock with the Butterfree, even though it doesn't have Confusion yet. And if I really, really have to, I will go through the whole process of leveling it even more, just because I need to be able to at least progress, right? If it's... My cat has come to say hi. Okay. So, let's continue. I don't know if you can hear kitten purrs while I do this. It's 5 damage, jeez. Is it really worth it to fight this thing? Yeah, I think... Trying to see if it's worth running from like the wheel fights or not. I remember the first time I think I played this game, I definitely like super grinded out in this particular patch of grass with my, because I think my first Pokemon game was Yellow. And I remember like I was like, oh, I have to level this Pikachu so it can learn Slam, because that's the only way I'm going to beat Brock. And I'm pretty sure that's what I did. I just used Slam. I think my Pikachu was like level 20 or something like that before I even got past the first like gym or something. It was really funny. I do remember having a level 100 Pidgeot. That was cool. That made me feel awesome as a kid. Because I leveled something to 100, and then I leveled a couple other Pokemon to 100 too. Like in Silver version, I think I leveled a Typhlosion to 100. I don't know why. I probably was just really bored and wanted to keep playing Pokemon, because who wouldn't want to keep playing Pokemon when you're a small child? And so I was just like, yeah, that sounds like a fun thing. And I forget even how I did it. I just know it took a really freaking long time. Okay, so what's this gonna do? The Pidgey was doing 3 damage per attack. The Rattata does 3 damage per attack. Okay. Oh yeah, I gotta switch out here. And then go back to the Poké Center. There's my Beedrill. Let's look at that awesome sprite that it has. Oh yeah. I still only have Poison Sting as an attacking move. Not the worst thing in the world though, but yeah, let's head back up. I surprisingly have not dropped a single frame since I started doing this. You can probably chalk that up to the rather low power used to stream this game. It's not like I'm streaming like, a 4K 1080p game or whatever. But yeah, it looks like the Pidgeys is the way to go. Again, even though the chance of getting a Metapod or a Kakuna is somewhat possible, I think the consistency of this and the fact that it's a solid 4-hit KO every time will make this go a little bit quicker. I could try this right now too. I could try Brock right now. Just how close am I? And then I will let you know. Alright, like 3 more. We'll go through that. 3 more, and then we'll try it just without even evolving. I think that'll be even crazier to do. It's probably going to be, again, a war of attrition, but we'll see. I'm going to run from these because too much damage. Well, actually, let's go to Beedrill since I already have it. Might as well get a little bit of extra experience. It's nice having a decent attack stat now, for sure. And that was a crit. Wow, 2-hit KO. That's the first one I've seen. Alright, those 14 experience will matter, I think. We'll just keep chugging along. Hey, kitty. What's going on, Fitz? Are you going to close my stream for me? by randomly pressing a button on my keyboard, because I would really not appreciate it if you did that. Oh no. Alright, I'm gonna switch. Still a 3-hit KO, even though I have a fully evolved Pokemon right now. Still a 3-hit KO. Crazy. That was the second Gen 1 miss that's happened on stream today. That's the second Poison Sting I've missed. That's the third. Wait, no. Wait, never mind. That's not Gen 1 miss. Use Sand Attack. I'm crazy. Forget what I just said. Never mind. I thought I was gonna be real upset. What are you doing, cat? Probably one more Pokemon after this will get me to 9, and then I'll just see what happens if I try to fight Brock. We might as well give it a shot, right? Just to see. I have a theoretical strategy, which is why I'm considering this. It shouldn't really come as much of a surprise, but the idea is to just try to poison his Pokemon and then use Metapod to stall out, and then try to poison the Onix and then stall out. If I can poison the Onix, I think I can probably take it out, because he'll occasionally go for Bide, and I'll just spam String Shot during those turns. I think I legitimately can actually win this fight. Wait, I didn't gain the level? Oh my gosh. Alright, one more. One more. This is really just going to be like hacks, basically. They're just going to win me this. Yeah, getting past the Geodude, if I can get that first turn poison, will be fine. Yeah, if I can get past his Geodude, I think I can beat him, like, pretty easily. There we go. Alright. Again, I can keep going to try to get that one more, but we'll see. So, let's go ahead. I think the chances of leveling up with, you know, more experience are greater, because as soon as I beat Brock, because there's all the other trainers on the other side of this that I think are a little bit easier to handle than just leveling like this. So let's just try this. So I'm gonna leave a Beedrill, and if honestly I get as lucky as I think I could get, this might actually work. So let's see. We're going to skip this guy, because he doesn't know what he's doing. Oh wait, he's level 12. This might not work out. Oh, it also has Defense Curl. I didn't know that. I thought it only had Tackle. Alright. That was 2 Gen 1 misses in a row. You just saw that, right? Okay. Alright. No, wait, he has a full heal? What is that? What? Okay. Okay. Wait, he has 2 full heals? That's a third Gen 1 miss. I swear to God. Are you kidding me? There is no way that Poison Sting is not 100% accurate, right? What is this fight? I just missed again. Alright, this has to be some like Gen 1 shenanigans thing, right? It's gotta be some weird whack Gen 1 like mechanic. That was ridiculous. Okay. That is possibly the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life, and someone needs to explain that to me, because I do not know what just happened there. Oh, I dropped 20 frames. Like a second ago. Well, this is obviously not going to work out for me. But, ow, Fitz, why are you attacking me? Oh, my cat is like clawing my leg while he's sitting on me. Why is this necessary? Maybe you want to go upstairs and be more comfy? Nope, you're going to keep clawing me. That's okay. What just happened? Like, literally, what just happened? I have no idea. But, alright. I need someone to explain that to me. I'm going to get a couple more levels on... Yeah. What was that? No, I'm not going to get a level on Beedrill. That's ridiculous. I'm not doing that right now. Well, I'm going to kill this Rattata, though. But what was that? Someone needs to explain that to me, please. That was crazy. Either that was... I honestly believe that's probably some Gen 1 shenanigans. Like, without question. Alright, we're going to go back into the forest because I think I just want to try and get Cocooners and Metapods. Where did you find that, Fitz? Okay, I'll take a Caterpie. Be level 5. No. Alright, that's fine. My cat just found like a plastic egg on the floor. I have no idea where he would have gotten that. We made it through without taking damage. That's pretty nice. Yeah, okay, so how far do I have to go? I gotta stop checking this. I really do, but I'm just like obsessed with knowing. 246. So, yeah, it's like 10 Pokemon. But we got lucky, so that's good. That's going to speed this up a little bit. Ooh, and it's level 5. Awesome. This probably turned out to be the better option. At least I got lucky so far with this. $50. Solid 50. That's awesome. Oh, wow. I'm getting really lucky right now. I haven't... Like, I got two Caterpies and a Metapod. Or a Kakuna. That's some good luck. Basically, anytime I run into... Weedle would be bad. Which is probably the most common Pokemon to run into here, to be completely honest. But, you know, it happens. Hey, thanks, Purple Jammies. I appreciate it. This has been me basically grinding for an hour and 40 minutes just to try and beat Brock with just bug types. And it's going to be a little bit more time with that too, I believe. So, you know, hold on to your purple jammies. And then at some point we will be able to try and see what we can do. Did anybody else know that Brock had full heals? Because I had absolutely no idea that that was a thing. I had no idea. Like, this fight shouldn't be the type of fight where Brock is worried about getting poisoned, paralyzed, or put to sleep. Like, that's the type of fight where if you just level, like, your starter, you easily defeat him. So I just think that's so freaking funny. Oh my god, Sand Attack, why? Is this even worth it? I feel like I just have to make a pack to avoid level 5 Pidgeys. That's just what I'm going to do. I don't feel like dealing with Sand Attack. Really don't. I'll do Rattatas all day. Especially because I outspeed this one, which is really nice. And it used Tail Whip multiple times. That also is very nice. Yeah, I think so. Avoid level 5 Pidgeys and don't fight the Weedles. That's pretty much what I have to do here. These are 3-hit KOs too, which is nice. But like I said earlier, as soon as I get past this particular part of the run, we're fine. No level 5 Pidgey. I will not fight you with Metapod. I will fight you with Beedrill. Because, I mean, it wouldn't hurt to get Beedrill a level. Still not a 2-hit KO yet. Actually, I crit, so that counts, right? Take the 19 experience. Okay, level 4 Pidgey. I like you a lot better. Because you don't have Sand Attack. But you're going to dodge my tackle anyway. So what's the point? And you're going to crit me. Oh, jeez. Why? Why is this like... Why is the game forsaking me like this? Why? This is stupid. I'm going to crit him right here. I refuse to believe that I won't. Dang it. I just died. Oh my god. Might as well KO it. But, oh my god. Alright. Okay. We're getting closer. We're getting closer and closer. We're so close. We have to KO like 5 more Pokemon, and we'll get a Butterfree. Like 5 more. Let's see. We're so close. It's less than 5. It's probably like 3, actually. 3 or 4. Yes, Rattata. That's the best one to run into. Yeah, it's definitely 4. One more tackle should do it. All right. Oops. I don't know why I went down there. My finger slipped. Okay, another Rattata. Excellent. Still a 3-hit KO, it looks like, too, which is great. Or maybe not. I think I'm going to come just shy. Yeah, that's a bummer. Alright, we're getting closer. 32. Yay, all the Rattatas. Excellent. I think after this I'm going to have some soda bread, because it is St. Patrick's Day and my parents brought some over the other day, so I think that's my reward for suffering through this, right? Alright, we got a Beautifly. Did I just call it Beautifly? It's a Butterfree. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. We got this far. Now the question is, and I have to look this up really quick, do I go and level it all the way to where it would get oh wait, I hit the wrong button. Give me 1 second, everybody. That's what I wanted. Bug and Butterfree. It's 2 more levels. 2 more levels, and I can win for sure. So, I mean, you know what? That's not that much more. I think I can manage that. 2 more levels, right? Hey. Look at that. Already dealing insane amounts of damage. Unprecedented amount of damage. This is the first 1-hit KO of the stream. Alright. We don't care about Weedle anymore. Yeah, I think we just gotta get Confusion. We just gotta get it. There's no way around it. It's level 12, so... Now a lot of my 3-hit KOs are 2-hit KOs. So this will go a lot quicker, I think. Or 1-shots if I crit. Butterfree does have an increased speed stat. And if you didn't know, in Gen 1, critical hit ratios are based on how fast your Pokemon is. So like if you're faster, you have a higher crit chance. Which is actually really an interesting mechanic, I have to say. I think it's not actually like that crazy stupid, to be honest. I think it's actually kind of funny. But I think that would only be balanced out if like the slower Pokemon had higher attack and special attack just like naturally, you know? Of course, you always miss the first move after they do it. Sometimes you also miss the second move after they do it. Okay. I crit there. That's funny. Alright. We're so close, guys. We are so close. Okay. So I imagine it's like a couple hundred experience points for this level. Yeah, and then a couple hundred for the next one. But as soon as we get it, we'll be fine. I wonder if I can KO a trainer before Brock, but I don't really know what that means in terms of like viability here. But once I have Confusion, man, this is going to be so much better. Now I'm wondering if it actually does make sense to go back into the forest to level here. Just because, again, the 50 from a Kakuna or a Metapod is really, really enticing. But then again, I think these fights actually take less time. So maybe not. I think this is still the superior way to go. Okay, thank you for not sand attacking. Cool. Alright, level 5 Pidgey cooperated finally. That's 39, so that's not bad. What's going to suck, though, is that as soon as I get Butterfree to learn Confusion, you're going to realize how terrible Beedrill is until it gets to like level 25 or something like that. Which is a pain in the butt. It does learn Fury Attack. Oh, that's a lot of crits I've been getting. It does learn Fury Attack, which is better than Poison Sting. I think if it hits at least more than 2 times. But it's so inaccurate. It's ridiculous. Fitz, what do you have? My cat keeps playing with something he found in the basement. Ooh, I think that's the first level 5 Rattata I found. So this will be good. Still probably a 3-hit KO, right? Yeah. Looks like it. Cool. Oh, double tail whip. Even better. No damage taken. So will this give me like 40 experience? I think this is the highest I can get, right? Yeah, look at that. That's pretty awesome. More of those, please. I'd really appreciate it. Can you imagine if like the KO'd Pokemon just like stayed there and there were other people just walking by seeing like how many like bugs and birds and rats are just like laying on the ground? That's kind of morbid, isn't it? I shouldn't say that. Level? One more, I think, if I'm counting right. But maybe I'm not. I'm actually surprised that I haven't gotten poisoned yet. Which means that this is now the turn I get... Oh, actually, I was going to say this is now the turn that I get poisoned. I still miscounted. Alright, it'll come. It'll definitely come eventually. Alright, one more to go. And how much do we need to get there? 379. So yeah, I think we gotta no. Yeah, it's definitely the Pidgey and definitely the Pidgey Rattata route. Definitely the route to go. There's gonna be like 30 more Pokemon. Well, if they reach 2 hit KOs, I mean, you know. We'll get there. We will get there. Don't worry. So yeah, if you were thinking about doing this run on your own, I would highly not advise it because of how long this part takes. But again, this is probably the only monotype run that you could do where this happens right at the beginning. I cannot think of another type where you would be running into this much trouble this early in the game. Maybe poison, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. How bad would poison be if you could just use Nidoran at this point? I still think Nidoran is infinitely better than either of these Pokemon, though, so I don't think it'd actually be that terrible. I don't think just using Nidoran by itself would be bad. Doesn't Nidoran also learn Double Kick or something like that? Let me check. I've been like having this like stuff up all day, like just looking through Pokemon and everything. So let me see. Poison, Nidoran. Oh, it gets Horn Attack. That's great. That's a decent move. Doesn't actually get Double Kick until level 43. Wow. Why is that a thing? Why would you not? What about the female one? Oh, wow. That's even worse. Jeepers. Okay. It gets Scratch. Which is 4 base power more than Tackle, but it's 100% accurate, so there's that. That's really funny. I think if I do upload this to YouTube, I am going to cut out all of this. Or when I do upload this to YouTube, I'm going to cut this all out. But just know that this did happen. And I did sit here for 2 hours leveling a Butterfree and a Beedrill just to beat Brock. Just know that this did happen, and you were there to see it, if anybody actually is still here and I haven't bored you to death yet. Just know that this did happen. Just gotta find the timestamps to cut the video. Jeez. It's so funny. I'm supposed to miss the tackles before they go for Sand Attack. Come on. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm messing with level 5 Pidgey again. I really shouldn't be. Level 5 Pidgey is too good. Okay. Not bad. Another 39 for me. Keep those 39s coming. Or 32s. I think that's level 4 Rattata. Mm-hmm. Such a memorable tune, honestly. I should have put up like a tackle miss counter or something like that at the beginning of this, just so we could see how often that actually happens. All right, we got to be pretty close to this point. But again, I'm not going to look because I have been looking all the time. I'm thinking like 2 or 3 more. Got to be pretty close though. Thank you, level 4 Pidgey. That's a 2-hit KO. I think level 4 Pidgeys is the ideal. Level 4 Pidgeys and level 4 Rattatas. Yeah, 31. Yeah, I'd take that. Oh, they gave me 2 in a row. Nice. Okay. KO that. And then we're good. I really want to know how close I am. I won't look, but I really, really, really want to know. Alright, level 5 Pidgey. What's your plan here? Oh, level 5 Pidgey, you're the worst. I really don't want to have to go back to the Poké Center again. Okay, thank God. Yay, we did it. Okay. Finally. Alright. Here we go. Oh, my God. Alright. We can do it now, guys. That took a while. 2 hours. 2 hours leveling. Do you know what's funny about that? Is the speedrun for this game would have already been over. If people you would have already completed a speedrun of this game already. And I am still in Pewter City just because I hate myself. But here we go. Finally, we will be able to fight Brock. Alright. Here we go. So, if you were sticking with me through the entirety of this on stream while I leveled for 2 hours, you are the absolute best. And I really appreciate you. And thank you so much for keeping me company while I did this. But if you are on YouTube and I was able to cut this, this took a long time. But I finally got a Beautifly, I gotta keep saying it, Butterfree and Beedrill. And my Butterfree is level 12, so it has learned Confusion, which means I can now actually deal damage to Brock. So let's go ahead and do this. I think everything is like a 3-hit KO or something, if I remember this correctly from the first time I did this. Yeah. And all he has is Tackle and Defense Curl. So. And there we go. Easy. And then here comes the Onyx. That's a two. Oh, I crit. Okay, I was like, that's a two shot. Oh, I'm just gonna KO him then through bide. That's awesome. And there we go. That's it. That's literally it. That's all it took. 2 hours just for like a 40-second fight. 2 hours just for a 40-second fight. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'm just gonna heal up at the Pokemon Center, and we're gonna call it for this first part. You know, Bide would be a much better move if you could do something else after you used it. Like, could you imagine, like, Bide with, like, a Pokemon that has access to recovery? Like, you use Bide, then you recover as you take damage, and then you dish it back out on the turn after that or something. That would be ridiculous, but that would actually be terrible game design. Ignore what I just said. Because that would just create really, really stally strategies for everybody as we go through everything. But anyways, everybody, I think that's going to be it for tonight. So thank you for sticking through that. I'm going to save right over here. And yeah, 2 hours and 4 minutes just to get to the end of that. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you have a great rest of your day, a good night, and I will hopefully see you all next time. Take care.